And I suppose really it's a day for all of us to create awareness of mental health issues if we can, and allows all of us the opportunity to reflect on our own mental health and maybe to help other people as well. I'm delighted, as I said, to welcome my first guest, who is Angela Hayes, who's the founder and CEO of CYPSC here in Kilkenny and Laois. Angela, welcome to the programme.
Thank you, Frank.
Sorry. And hope I find you well.
Oh yeah, all good, thank you.
It's nice to welcome you to the programme here. As I mentioned in the intro, Angela, as I said, tomorrow is World Mental Health Day, and I suppose it is a chance for all of us, isn't it, to maybe help create awareness and have a talk about the different situations, challenges that are facing everybody around the world, including Kilkenny.
Absolutely, and it starts, as you said, from ourselves and at the grassroots, where issues might occur. So it might be a world problem, but it can be helped from people, starting at the grassroots up and helping each other and just being aware of other people's mental health.
This year, the WHO and other partners are kind of, I suppose, looking at, work as well, and the connection between our mental health and mental well-being and work. And they really are very much connected as well. I know that you and CYPSC have done some work in relation to industry, I suppose.
Yes, we have been working quite a lot in some of the companies here in Kilkenny and across Europe, which is a fantastic opportunity just to help to spread the awareness of CYPSC, the work that we do, and also to allow people to feel safe to talk about their mental health, especially in the workplace. So a lot of employers have taken this really seriously, and it is great to see, because we have been inundated with calls for the service of CYPSC to partner with some of the companies. And as I was saying to you earlier on, with the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the environmental, social and governance standards, CYPSC is aligning with these policies, and I think for other companies and industries to partner with CYPSC is a benefit all around. So by us going out speaking and working in the workplace, as I said, it gives a platform for people to feel safe, that they can talk and they can say to their employer if they are not feeling okay, that the employer isn't going to take it in a negative way, that they will only want what's best for their employee. Because at the end of the day, if an employee is struggling with their mental health and they're afraid to tell the employer, their work is affected, their outlay of their work is affected, their family life is affected. And, if somebody can get help and support in access and counselling and therapy, well then their work is going to improve and their mental health is going to improve. So employers are behind looking after their staff, and we have seen a huge increase in this.
That's fantastic. And of course, again, I suppose tomorrow, globally and locally, it allows us the chance also to, I suppose, break that stigma that's maybe still there. I don't know, is it still there in relation to mental health, having a chat and just talking? I mean, that's so important to talk, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I know we were part of a project in a company in Clonmel, where the staff downed tools for 30 minutes and they did a nice walk around their site, the construction site, and it gave them an opportunity to walk and to talk. And you had a mixture of electricians, plumbers, carpenters, all talking together on their 30-minute break, and it was just lovely to see it, because it was mainly men. Yes. And it was lovely to see that they were all talking with each other and took the time out for 30 minutes. So we do have an opportunity where we ask people to take part in the Longest Day Challenge, and that is obviously in June, but it's every day is a long day for people who are struggling with their mental health, not just one day. So we ask people, if they want to be part of the Longest Day Challenge, that they can make contact with CYPSC, and it's an employee initiative that they can work on to help raise awareness and funds for CYPSC.
And listen, Angela, I mean, I've spoken to you before, obviously, and I know that all the people in Kilkenny, and now Laois as well, are so supportive of the wonderful work that you and your colleagues are doing in Choctaw. And I'm sure the last year has been busy as well. I mean, there's no end to it in relation to what you can do, because you offer so many services which are so important.
Well, this is it. And I have been, somebody did say to us from an agency, said, you can't be all to everybody. And I actually said we can. Nothing is a problem, nothing is an issue. And if we are not the organisation for an individual that needs help, we will support that person to access another agency that needs the help, because we don't say, oh, that's nothing to do with us, we can't help you, and close the door. We will invite anybody in with any issue, and we will encourage them to get the right support that they need. But again, going back to the workplace, I've seen so many people that we have provided information talks across Europe and here in Ireland over the last couple of years. And when you hear people coming into the doors of Choctaw or making contact with us, and they reference that, oh, I heard you at a talk, or my brother or my sister heard you at a talk, and we know about Choctaw now, that means that you're achieving your goals. Absolutely. On helping to reach out everywhere.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like Choctaw is open. People can drop in and just talk to somebody initially, can't they? Which is always powerful too.
Oh, it is, for somebody just to feel that, okay, I can knock on this door, and a volunteer, which is a friendly face, comes to the door and just invites you in. Sometimes you don't even need to say anything. Our volunteer will know, and they will just comfort you and give you a space to sit down, gather yourself, and then when you are ready, that you can talk and just share what's worrying you.
And again, I mentioned, obviously some of the services that Choctaw provide, for example, play therapy for children who have been affected by bereavement and loss, and also for adolescents as well, for example. Yeah,
it's we've seen a huge increase with the teenagers attending the service, and it's so good. It's so good to see this. And I say it again, people say, oh, is there an increase in adolescents feeling suicidal? I really feel that because of our school and community engagement work, the young people are hearing about Choctaw, and this is the reason why they're coming to our doors, because they know, okay, I've seen Angela and I've seen Rory and I've seen Kevin and other of our therapists that provide community engagement talks, and because of this, you're breaking down the barriers, and people are saying, okay, I can go in there and I can get help. Even something like parental consent. For a young person who's sitting in a group listening and saying, oh gosh, how can I go there? Do I need my mum and dad to, sign? And we say, obviously you do, with regulations and that, but we encourage the person and we help the person to get the family on board in order to receive the best care that they deserve.
Fantastic. Again, maybe just to remind our listeners, if anybody would like maybe to talk to Choctaw, how people can access your services.
Yeah, well, we have our phone line, which I know you'll give out the number at the end, and we have the website, and we have our Facebook page, and also we've recently opened up the Cathedral Cafe at St. Mary's Cathedral that is managed by volunteers at the weekends, and we have our information leaflets down there as well. So if anybody does need to reach out, there's so many different ways that they can reach out to us, but as I said, even the weekends in the coffee shop, it's just a beautiful space for people to go. It's a community cafe, and the volunteers are there. Unfortunately, we haven't our coffee machine up and running yet, but we do have tea, coffee, soup, freshly baked brown bread and scones on site as well, so Fantastic. That's open at the weekends and managed by volunteers.
And again, obviously fundraising, Angela, I know is very much obviously part of what you have to do, and I know that's an area where obviously helps provide services that you provide, but you have some fundraising ideas coming up.
Yeah, well, I know there's on the 26th of October there's a fancy dress out in out in the Valley Inn, and it's remembering friends lost to suicide as well. So that's one event on the 26th of October, and we currently still have the Pulling Together to Save Lives, which is where Pat Comerford, a guy from IFAC accounting, Pat has built a curragh, and he has been rowing the boat. He has rowed the boat in on the Barrow and up in Achill Island, and I did a little bit of rowing myself, but Pat and his team have raised a phenomenal amount of money. Fantastic. Between the RNLI and Choctaw. So this is raising awareness as well as raising funds for the organisation, because the more people that we can reach out to that can offer help in any capacity, whether it's financial or physically help us, these events that's what the events are about.
And even obviously from the fundraising, you can create awareness, can't you? Because again, you're talking to people, as you say, 100%. Meeting people, passing on your leaflets that you have.
100%.
That's really very much part of the overall kind of, I suppose, success too of getting the word out there.
Yeah, it is. And it's lovely when you're speaking with somebody and they say, oh, my sister went in there, and like I might not even be aware of it, but like it's lovely when you do meet somebody and they say they knew somebody that went to the Choctaw Centre. And that's when there are volunteers out fundraising or raising awareness of the organisation, people have come up to them and they say, oh yeah, I know somebody who went to Choctaw and it has been wonderful. So that's very positive to hear. It is a constant battle to keep the doors open, because there are so many other worthwhile organisations out there as well, and there's only so much that people can fund, but we do appreciate the amount of community support that we have received over the last 10 and a half years, and it's just been phenomenal. So we have exciting projects coming up. We've a candle project which is for Christmas. We've also been working on a book which is going to be the journey of Choctaw over the last 10 years, and that's really exciting, we've lots going on that we can I'm sure we'll be back here to talk about more.
Absolutely, the door's always open, as you know, Angela, as well, here in relation to any events that you've got coming up. And again, obviously, you're down at the Ormond Road, and people who are listening perhaps can call in. There's also a phone number there for the officers at 056 779 6592.
That's correct, yeah.
And again, I suppose from the school's point of view, Angela, I know obviously schools are only back now, and but it's still it's so important, the work that you do in schools. Again, creating that environment, I suppose, of being able to have a chat and
yeah, and it's lovely when Rory and myself are invited out to the schools to provide an information talk and a little workshop. The students generally organise this for this talk, and I think it's super because it means that the students are taking the responsibility of organising the mental health workshop. And they meet us when we arrive, and it's really student led, and I think this is very important because they take ownership of the mental health talk, where if it's organised by an adult, sometimes they're just going along just to go, oh my God, yeah, the teacher's after telling us we have to go to this, and they're sitting there and they don't really want to be there. But if they take ownership and they want to organise this, and then they want to organise a fundraiser for us, because all our talks that we provide are offered free of charge to the schools, to the companies, but we do ask that somebody organises a fundraiser or an event that can repay and fund the Choctaw service. So it's like a value for money model. So whatever they feel that the organisation deserves, they will put the effort in to fundraise that amount of money.
And again, we were just having a chat before the programme started, and you made some really interesting advice as well, that we all have a obligation almost, only to help somebody. That maybe if we feel somebody maybe is not maybe feeling themselves, maybe start that conversation. Yeah,
even for myself, if I'm not feeling okay and I know I'm not feeling okay, instead of trying to bury that, I actually acknowledge it, and being able to say you're not okay is key to one of your first steps. So I will say to people, I'm not feeling the best today, and then the people say, yeah, okay, that's grand. Instead of going in and you're trying to cover this and then people are looking at you and they're going, oh my God, look at the Angela's in a bad mood or what. Trying to understand, not that I'd be in a bad mood.
No.
But just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But if you are having a bad day, just say it and people can understand. Whereas it's how you say things to people as well. So if you notice somebody in the workplace or somebody, a friend or a family member, and you notice they're not themselves, just even saying to them, I've noticed you're not yourself lately, and if you want to talk, I'm here, or I know somewhere where you can get help if you're not okay. And that is a nicer approach than going up to somebody saying, what's wrong with you? Look at the face on you, what's wrong with you? Because that's the people get defensive when it's asked like that. So just saying, I've noticed you don't seem to be yourself. So I really, really and truly encourage people that if you feel somebody aren't themselves, just don't be afraid. Just say, listen, I've noticed, and if you're not okay, I know where we can talk or get help. And if the person doesn't know why they're feeling the way they are, that's okay. We encourage them to go and seek professional help.
For sure. Well, listen, that's a very helpful note, I think, maybe to end our interview today, Angela. It's always great talking to you because there's so much good work being done, and as I said, anybody who can support you with a fundraising, please do, and maybe volunteers as well. You're open to maybe people perhaps giving some help. Yeah,
and we have a team of new volunteers started this week on the phones and in the centre. So yes, we are always looking for volunteers and fundraising events.
And as we mentioned during the programme as well, anybody wants to pop in to Choctom there on Ormond Road, the door is always open. Angela Hayes, CEO for Choctom, it's great talking to you, and continued success to you and your team in the amazing work that you're doing.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Angela. We'll take our first ad break now. We'll be back in a few moments. Don't